Okay guys, wasn't expecting to be making this video, but Hi-Res Stealth just revealed this picture of the new Conquest map showing the layout of the entire jungle. I'm super hyped for Season 5 already, and supposedly there's more information coming about this in the next couple of weeks, so I thought I'd just analyse the minimap a bit and pull some information out of it, make a few predictions and theories, and potentially start a discussion on what some of these things mean and what they are. So be sure to leave your thoughts in the comments below. Keep in mind this is my thoughts alone on the map, so be sure to leave yours. Right, the first point I want to discuss is jungle camps are confirmed to be respawning faster, but they will give less XP and gold per kill. This should increase the amount of time spent in the jungle by the jungler, as there's more stuff to farm more often, but it also leads to more time management stuff with like what camps you take when and when you can spare time to gank, will the gank be worth it and stuff like that, which is like a more kind of risk-reward style gameplay which should spice things up a bit. Should hopefully leave less dead time in the jungle as well, where there's no jungle at all to farm, which should hopefully keep junglers out of the lanes a bit. Another thing, XP sharing and splitting values are confirmed to be decreased in Season 5. This is obviously aimed at decreasing the need to group up and split waves and camps. Like, it'll still be effective, but it won't be like 100% essential like it is in Conquest right now. This should hopefully lead to solo farming being a bit better, making jungling more like jungling, with junglers being like in lanes less, and because it's not as efficient to split anymore. This should shake up the meta in a huge way, since like Smite for the last few years honestly has been based around splitting camps and waves effectively. It's a small change that has huge ramifications for the game, and I like it. One more thing before we get into the direct jungle layout changes. Camps and minions are going to be worth less early on, but they're going to scale up in value to be worth more over time. This is clearly another change directed at reducing the early game dependency and snowball. Like, currently the game can be all but decided by which team wins the first 10 minutes, so this should hopefully reduce that a bit and allow for more varied team comps and strategies and things. I think Stealth puts this well. When all of these changes come together in Season 5, there will be a much larger focus on the individual impact of each player. Okay, the first point on the actual jungle layout. Speed buff has been moved much nearer to base, nearer where back harpies used to be in Season 4. This means junglers can pick it up a lot faster out of base and make potentially different or more effective rotations. It also means that it's so much harder to invade an enemy speed buff now. Like, you would need like full jungle control or like 3 people or something to safely invade an enemy speed buff without getting caught out, since you have to go all the way to the back of their map. This should reduce snowball a bit, as like losing your speed buff as a jungler is really bad in this meta, and having it more secure will hopefully stop a bit of that snowball, even more so now the map is larger and the speed buff's more important. It's also closer to the base, meaning you can drop it on the ground, recall, and then run back and pick it up or out on the way to get more max duration. This was possible before, but you have more time to buy items and stuff now, so that's good. Oracles have their own little spot now, instead of being like right in the Gold Fury pit. This should hopefully prevent like those accidental Gold Fury pulls, and possibly the vision won't cover the entire Gold Fury pit anymore, it looks like. So sneaking Gold Furies might be possible even with enemy Oracle vision. Also, it seems like it's faster to get to Oracles from mid now, with an easy path to get straight to them rather than having to walk all the way into Gold Fury pit. This might make mid and jungle contest them a bit more rather than dueling. The duo side of the map has largely stayed the same with a few tweaks. The lane entrances are almost identical, aside from the double entrance in the middle of the lane rather than a single one. This could lead to like different rotation pathing, as like often the team with the pressure would lock off that jungle pathway, forcing the losing laners to back off into their jungle entrances and get to their farm slower. Now that should be less of a problem, as each side has their own entrance in the middle of the lane. Purple buff hasn't really changed at all, neither of the entrances near them. Red buff hasn't moved, but it now has 4 narrow pathways into the buff rather than being a big open space like the one in Season 4. Which should make more buff contention and securing more complicated. Also, back camps have been flipped over on order side to make the map horizontally symmetrical, and the Gold Fury hasn't moved either. But the Oracles, as I mentioned earlier, have moved from the Gold Fury pit, and the Gold Fury pit as a whole seems more open, with more entry points for contention and stealing. Solo lane side of the map is where a lot of the changes are happening. As I mentioned earlier, speed buff has moved to the back, which is really key. It's been swapped with the back camps, meaning there's now a harpy camp as a source of farm closer to the middle of the map where old speed buff used to be. Like, rather than running all the way to the back of the map to get those camps, they'll now be further up, which will make them probably more likely to be a contention of farm for points on both sides. Mid camps are now more open and have more entrance points, so instead of just those narrow 2 entrances they had before, it's like almost 4 entrances into mid camps, which is the same on both sides, by the way. Fire Giant Pit has stayed mostly the same along with the Portal Demon, but those two rocks could cause a bit of ruckus in like the tight jungle fights around Fire Giant. And it's also been confirmed that Fire Imps / Fire Elementals are gone, but they're being replaced by something else, we just don't know what yet. The last thing to talk about is blue buffs. They're mostly unchanged, but do seem like slightly more closed off than they were in Season 4, where they're just kind of a wide open area, so hopefully contention of blue buffs might be a bit harder for like invades and things like that, because losing your blue buff as a solo laner just makes you want to kill yourself. It really does. Alright, and to close it up, I'm just going to go over a quick few points on the rest of the map that aren't about the jungle, because I wanted to focus on the jungle mainly because that's what's just been revealed. We've had the rest of the map for a while now, but the Titan room now has these blobs, which potentially could be pillars, I think, that seem like they might potentially make it more defensible when it's under siege, like the Titan room. And it might also be that the Titan can't move out of this kind of semicircular area either. Phoenixes also completely cut the corridors that join lanes now, like the Phoenix area where they can shoot people, so it makes these areas more defensible, as you can't get flanked or trapped in these areas as a defender. And it also makes it way harder to take and hold as an aggressor, since Phoenixes can block your escape routes. The lanes do seem a bit wider as well, especially solo lane, which could switch up how fights and ganks go down in lanes. But that's it. Overall, I think the map looks pretty damn good. At least it looks a lot better than our current one anyway. The wider map, the fog of war, the respawn time changes and different jungle pathings should make rotations like a more high risk, high reward strategy rather than just low risk, high reward. Though I would have liked to see a new buff and potentially more neutral contention points, but they've changed up the layout enough to throw a spanner in the works of the current strategies, which will force us to develop new ones. But what are your guys' thoughts on the map? Hope you guys enjoyed this quick little analysis video of the Season 5 minimap. It may seem a bit all over the place and not particularly professional, because it wasn't really a scripted video. I was just trying to get this out as quickly as possible to you guys so you have the information. And as I said, this is like a discussion and speculation video, so leave your thoughts and theories no matter how crazy in the comments. I'll probably be reading and replying to as many as I can, so also let me know if you want me to do more Season 5 coverage and news as it comes out or not. But that's about it. Peace out, nerds.